My name's Duncan Callahan. I'm from Glens Falls, New York originally. Came out to Western in 2000 and graduated in '05, and I got stuck in Gunnison because I love it here. And now I consider Gunnison my home and run right out of here. So.
All right. And when you say run, what do you mean by run? So I get the mountains in the background.
Yeah. Well, I run ultra marathons, 100 milers, 50 milers, some trail marathons, that sort of stuff. But you know, my favorite is the 100 milers.
And what makes them your favorite?
The symmetry of them mentally. You know, 10-mile runs back to back to back to back, 2 50-mile runs. It just makes sense to my mind. I like them. They're a real big challenge. You can't exactly train for them, so there's a little bit of mystery when you're out there. That's why I love them.
All right, cool. And why did you have anything to do with Western outside of the HAP lab? Did you go to school here, or what brought you here, I guess?
Well, I did go to school here. I was in the history department. Actually, that's where my major was, and received a coaching minor in the kinesiology department before the switch to ESS. And yeah, so I was there for the first year when Scott Drum was here, and the first year the HAP lab developed. I was kind of one of the guys in the background, but not doing as much as Rich or Tim. But I was there, and I saw the HAP lab start to develop, and then kind of joining along for training sessions or VO2 max testing in there, and it's been great.
All right, cool. And I guess before we go into the HAP lab stuff, where's your favorite place in the Gunnison Valley?
Favorite place in Gunnison Valley? I mean, there's so many, but I gotta say Hartman Rocks. You know, for biking, for running, for flat ground stuff, for hills, for technical, for mellow, for views. I just love it out there. I mean, Hartman's just does it for me. You know, I love the stuff in Crested Butte. I love big mountains, but I also love high desert. And Hartman's really fills that niche. So.
So you talk about the HAP lab. What do you do a lot of work in the HAP lab with Scott, and kind of what position does Scott have, you know, with your training?
Sure. I don't actually do work in the HAP lab for myself, you know, work for myself, but I've been in there for several athletes I coach with the Crested Butte and Gunnison Junior Nordic ski team. They've been tested in there. I've been in there for a few studies that students have done. They've tested myself and Dave Weens and several other elite athletes in the community. So I've been in there for quite a bit. Now some of those tests I've done in there, Scott's prescribed heart rate zones or training based off of what the VO2 max test said or the lactate test said. So I've developed some training systems based on the HAP lab, and Scott is certainly a guy I bounce a lot of ideas off of. We're in development stage right now of a more structured training plan for myself for the next year. So looking into that, and hopefully Scott will be filling a role more as coach, you know, as I'm seeking that out.
And so do you plan to be in the HAP lab a little more with testing? And try to block this away.
Yeah, I do. I plan to be in there this fall for some physiological tests, get a prescription, start developing my training program, really implement it starting in 2010. And yeah, I see myself being around there more and more often.
Yeah. And so you just got done with a race, you know, I guess just finished with the race.
Yeah.
What 2 races did you just get done with?
Well, back on August 22nd, I finished the Leadville 100 run up in Leadville, Colorado. Gunnison went 1-3. Gunnison Endurance Project went 1-3, and Western State College alumni went 1-3. Timmy Parr won it on the 6th fastest time, 4th fastest person ever in 17:27, and I came in 18:26 in 3rd place. It was a great race. It was brutal race, and you know, it was great seeing my buddy Tim take the win, and I enjoyed getting on the podium again. So that was neat. And then this past weekend, September 5th, I ran the Grand Teton 50-mile race up in Targhee, Wyoming, on the other side of the Grand Tetons from Jackson. Beautiful race, 10,000 feet of vertical climb, brutally hard, and just a great 50-miler. And I won that with a course record, and just a phenomenal way to end the ultra season for me.
That's awesome. What was your time?
Time was 7 hours 33 minutes. It's about 9-minute pace on that course.
Nice. So, why would a student want to study exercise sports science here at Western?
I could go on. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke here. Western's phenomenal. You got access to anyone and everyone all the time. My being in the department and being at Western as a student, I just had the ability to communicate with all my professors whenever I wanted to, and that was phenomenal. So in terms of accessibility, you get to communicate with anyone you want to, anytime. Studying ESS specifically, we really do have a high-end performance lab, physiological testing. We've got all the equipment. We've got a guy and probably several people in the department, but I know Scott for sure, who knows all that stuff up and down. Is extremely passionate about it up and down. And then on top of that, we're in a community of endurance athletes who are some of the best in the world, some of the best on the planet, and then a phenomenal endurance athlete program here at Western State, especially with the running program. So there's so many athletes to tap into, so much information to tap into, so much passion to tap into. Come to Western, go to the ESS department, 100%.